Nobody wants to be alone on Christmas. Nobody wants to be alone. I wanna know, where do the lonely hearts go? Nobody wants to be alone on Christmas time. I don't know those words. It's like all I know of that song. Anyway, hello and welcome to my channel. It is my favorite time of year. It is Christmas time. I love the sweaters. I love to dress like this. My number one love language is gift giving, followed by quality time. So you can see how this holiday sort of ties into that. I love the Christmas movies. I baked the other day. Who am I? From scratch. I made cookies. I love the decorations. I love the candles. I love the general sense of merriment. And I really think that it carries over from when I was a kid. My parents went out of their way, specifically my mom, because she did all the decorating and stuff in the house. They went out of their way to make it just this really magical, whimsical time of year. I mean, it was some of the best memories of my life. I also, when I was teaching, I loved doing the class parties, and some of them got really out of hand. Like one year I went walking and searching for like 3 hours for a chocolate fountain for the kids, because they've been great. And so they were like, well, we want a chocolate fountain. Let me explain. This was a little film and TV production class, and they worked like grown men and women in that class. They were amazing. And so for Christmas, I was like, what do you guys want for your party? And they said, we want a chocolate fountain. So I went searching until 11 p.m. that night for a chocolate fountain. By the way, by December, chocolate fountains are gone. Okay, the time to get them is in the summer. I found this out the hard way. But what I did end up getting was a fondue pot. And I brought it in that morning. I'd never made fondue before. The kids were like, we got it. So they made fondue. They bought strawberries and cheese and fruits and melons and all kinds of pizza and everything. We had like a little red carpet where they took pictures. This was a middle school Christmas party, by the way. And I tried to do something like that for every group every year. I would do like Christmas murals in the classroom, and we'd have lights and things. And usually at this time of year, we would watch or we'd be reading what's it called? The Scrooge, Christmas Carol. And so we'd finish the year like watching a Christmas Carol and acting out the play in class. And I love this time of year. But one thing I really, really hate about it is that this time of year I am always single. The last time I had someone in my life romantically for the Christmas holidays was 2009. And it was such a bad situation that I told myself afterwards, I will never be in a situation where I hate having that person in my life so much that it makes the holiday bad. Let me just explain why the situation was so bad. So the guy that I was with, he was somebody I shouldn't have been with, but he waited until Christmas to go ahead and let me discover that his family was racist. And I found this out because of some of the things I heard them saying about me when my back was turned. His mother literally at the table said that she wished I was a spirited blonde. I tried to bake for them, and I made Rice Krispie treats. I'd never made them before. I did something wrong because they gave everybody heartburn. He was just a mess in general, but on this particular holiday, I had tried to upgrade him, and I was trying to get him some nice sweaters and pants. He went into the dressing room of the store where we were and had a complete nervous breakdown because he got stuck in the sweater and he was too hot. I took him to a Christmas party and I left him for a little bit. He was talking to a group of people and somebody called me away. And so I said, oh, okay. And I left him with a group of people, I guess, that he didn't know very well. They were the men of the party and I figured he was okay. He screamed at me for 2 to 3 hours after that because I had abandoned him alone at a party where he didn't know anybody. And I'm leaving a lot of things out, but I really just want to boil it all down to this. He never got me a gift. I got him clothes, cologne, all this. He never got me a gift. And he swore for the rest of the time we knew each other that, no, I did order you a gift. I ordered you a magazine subscription. It just never came to your house. Okay. So that was back in 2009. That was my only Christmas with someone. It was so bad. I told myself, I'll just be single the rest of the Christmases. I don't care. And in fact, what I used to do is back in the day when I would be talking to somebody or whatever, is if it wasn't serious by Thanksgiving, I'd cut them off. You're not ruining my holidays. And by not serious, I mean like if we really didn't, you know, if it didn't have a future, which was most of the time. Now there were some times where I was like, I don't know if we're ready to cut each other off just yet, but you're not going to ruin my holiday. So after Thanksgiving, I would legitimately put this thing on ice until we got to January. And then in January, I might reach out again, or they might reach out to me, but I just wouldn't talk to you. Like after like December 15th, if we hadn't figured it out, like don't contact me. You're not going to ruin my Christmas. So some of that was PTSD, and some of that was just, you know, wanting to like protect my heart. Like I just wanted to make it a nice holiday. For the most part, during Christmas, I am single, and I know that it can be really, really, really hard. This is one of the loneliest times of year for a lot of people. This is one of the hardest times of year to be on social media for a lot of people. I mean, it's a time of year where, you know, people are celebrating their relationships that they may have gotten in over the year. They're showing off their extravagant gifts from their partners and for their families. And some people get engaged. I mean, it's tough. So because I'm like an OG of this thing, I said, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video, a survival guide. Okay, how have I gotten through? Because it's an accomplishment, all right? That's been like 13 years that I've rode this thing out, or what, 12 years, right? How have I done it? How have I made it? How do I make it through every Christmas single? Without further ado, here is my single at Christmas survival guide. Okay, so my very, very first rule, if you are single at Christmas and you're sad about it, because sometimes you're single at Christmas and you're like, whatever, I don't care, I'm just having a good time, blah, blah, blah. But of course, this is a video for people that are single at Christmas time and they're like not excited about it, right? So the first thing that I want to say to you is limit social media. It's okay. It's okay if around this time of year you take a step back, all right? You log out of Instagram and you don't log back in until after New Year's. You limit what you see on TikTok. Don't feel ashamed to block certain things that you feel might affect you, might affect your mental health. In fact, this was one of the funniest tweets. I saw it the other day, and this is exactly what I've been doing lately on my timeline. Anytime I see like, you know, I got to do what I got to do, right? In fact, I think limiting social media and your exposure to how other people are celebrating their love at this very sensitive time of year, I think it's so important that I went ahead and just for you guys, I recorded another skit. I haven't done one in a long time. This is my last one for 2021, but I would like to show it to you now. You gotta come in. Okay, I just need to do a few more things with my tree and then we can get going. So nice in here, very festive. So it's so good to be able to catch up with you. You know, you're never on social media. Oh, I know, I'm really bad about that. But do we really need to be on all social media connected all the time? I mean, I got off Facebook like a decade ago and I mean, I post to Instagram sometimes, but you know, I really just like to focus on myself and my journey, you know, especially around the holidays. Oh, that's understandable. Oh my God. Okay, so remember Candace? Oh, sure. Remember. Yeah, she was in like our biology class, 12th grade. Yeah, she just moved in with her boyfriend. What? And he's like some crypto guy, so it's like the house is really nice. Thank you for sharing that with me. Pretty cool. It's cool. I didn't even think crypto was a real thing. So it's very cool to me. So it looks like the tree is all good to go. Would you like some eggnog? Oh, okay. Sure. So I'll go get us some before we head out. Alrighty. Oh. Ooh. It's a little strong. Okay, so you remember Sam? He lived in our dorm in college. Mm-hmm. He just got engaged to his partner. What? Yeah, and they bought a house. Oh, how nice for him. That's amazing. I love to hear it. I love to hear about the people that we grew up with, growing their families, and I love to hear about it, especially here on the holidays, when I'm you know, still staying at my parents' house. So I love to hear it. Yeah, I love it. Thank you. Let me just go get my purse, and I will be right back. And okay. We can go. Okay, you're not gonna believe this. So you remember the guy that you dated your
first year at the marketing firm.
Yeah.
Okay. So he married some kind of NFL cheerleader last year, and they're expecting their first baby, and they just did the cutest Christmas themed sonogram photo shoot. Okay, I'm ready to go. The holidays can be tough. It can be a little stressful. I feel a little sensitive about some things, especially around this time of year. So you had no way of knowing. Let's go ahead and get on the road, though. Do me a favor. Delete Instagram from your phone.
Yeah.
Facebook, too. No more updates. No more updates. Let's have a good lunch.
Okay, so you see that I think that that's very true in life. You have those people who are sensitive to seeing, the fact that they're still alone, especially still alone past a certain age, and they're trying to keep their spirits up and keep it together. And just seeing what everybody else is doing and how they're developing and the new things that have happened in their life. Like sometimes it's not inspiring. Sometimes it's just like, ugh, like it just hurts to see it. And then you have people who are just not bothered by it. They're like, whatever, I'm just vibing. You know who you are. Be honest about that. And if you're the type of person that needs to stay off of social media so they don't see certain things, you don't want to end up like our friend in the red hair in that skit and, with your wig halfway off and all of your dishes broken in the kitchen. You want to end up with your sanity. So limit what you see. I have a personal policy that if I don't know you and like talk to you every day, and I know that like you got some things going on that might make me feel a little sensitive about myself, I'm not going to access you. So like celebrities, certain influencers, anybody that I haven't talked to in several years, you might notice I'm not there. I'm not in the number around the holidays. I'll come back. But just around the holidays, I keep it sensitive. I limit my access to what I see on social media. So the next thing that I do, number 2, kind of counteracts what I just said. So for a long time, when the holidays came around and I was still single, I was very, very, obviously very bitter about it. And I would just stay off social media, whatever, shut it down, go away. And then I started to just kind of realize that like I was still a person having an experience, even if it wasn't the one I wanted. And I wanted to talk about my stuff too. And I think it was like last year where I started to just get really loud. Like I started to be like, hey, well, this is how it is for me. No, I'm not building toys for my kids all night. No, I'm not going out to eat and on date nights and stuff with my lover. But I am shopping for gifts. I am, celebrating this with my family. I do have my dog. Like I'm doing something. And so just to kind of counteract what I just said, you can also get loud AF on social media. You can talk about your personal experience. What are you doing that you're proud of? How are you celebrating the holiday in a way that counter recognizes what they normally try and do to single people? Like, how are you celebrating? Not only is it going to be healthy for you because you have a record of who you were in this time, but also for people that may need to see that. Like I know last year, I made a TikTok about how I still wake up early in my house, the first one, and, make sure everything is right before people come down and open all their gifts, just like I did when I was a little kid. And I got so many comments of people being like, oh my God, I do this too. This is still me too. So I think being loud and being like, hey, I'm here, I'm having this experience, I think it kind of takes away some of the shame of maybe not having what you thought you would have or not having a significant other around this time of year. So to counteract point 1, point 2, tell the truth and take time to remember that even though you don't have maybe what you want, there's also nothing wrong with what you do have. And some of the things you do have are actually pretty good. Okay, so next, and this is a little bit more serious. You got to be honest about your feelings. I think one of the least effective things that I tend to do when I'm feeling sad about something is pretend like it doesn't bother me. A few years ago, I was not feeling very great. It was like maybe Christmas Day, and a friend called me while she was her and her boyfriend were trying to put his game together that he'd gotten. And she was like, oh, this boy is so annoying. I'm so happy I got him this game. He's just been so excited about Christmas. And she was like, I'm not really a Christmas person. I'm like sitting there on the other side of the phone in my Christmas sweater, just like listening to this. Like, and she's like, I'm not really a Christmas person. I'm just happy this is all over. And oh, he's so annoying. And the conversation made me feel really weird. And I didn't know why. I wasn't jealous of my friend, but it still made me feel like, ow. And I think what it was, it was a situation where she was insulting something that I would have loved to have. And instead of being honest about that, I was like, oh, well, I don't know why I feel weird. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. It's important for us to understand that sometimes we're sensitive to things, not because we wish ill on other people, but because sometimes more than others, the desires that we have are really, really heightened. And so when we have to experience situations where we're made aware that we don't have those things, it can be very depressing and it can be very hurtful. So it's important to be honest. If I was honest about my feelings, I would have gotten off that phone call instead of silently crying on the other end of the phone, which is what I did. I also think that it's important to be honest because if you're not honest about how you feel, you can't like move past it. So if you're fine, if you're like, oh, I'm single at Christmas and it's fine, then that's one thing. But if it actually does make you sad, be honest about that. Because what you might end up doing then is just like over drinking. You might end up just shutting down and self-isolating. And sometimes being honest about how you feel can keep lines of communication open with people that they need to be open to. And then it becomes a question of where can you be honest? So for me, obviously, like I went and started a whole YouTube channel because I wanted to be honest, but I also do journal. I keep a written journal and I do a video journal. There are a few people in my life, there's like one or two that I can actually talk to about a certain thing that I'm feeling or going through. But also I want to say for myself this year, I just have been working on when I feel a certain way about something, allowing myself to sit with that feeling for a little bit. And then just working through what is it about the situation that really, really bothers me? What is it about the situation that makes me really sad? Working through it, sitting with it, and doing my best to find other ways of refocusing that energy, which is a whole process, but it starts at being honest with how you feel because you don't want to, one day just break down crying in a Target, which I've done. You want to take time and actually process your feelings about this very sensitive time of year. Okay, next step, and I kind of hinted at this reason in the last one, but focus on the things you love to do. So some people, they don't care. They're just like, oh, whatever, Christmas, another holiday. I've already said I'm a holiday person. I'm a big Christmas person. But for me, I love to focus on things about the holiday that I can't control. No, I can't go out and out of thin air get a boyfriend who we can dress in matching pajamas, whatever. I can't do that. I can't. But what I can do is I can burn candles. I can watch my favorite movies. I can, talk to people, I can buy gifts, I can do whatever. So I think a way to counteract some of the loneliness that can come with this time of year is to do the things you love to do. Which brings me to my last point, your holidays are just as valid whether you're with someone or you're not. And these are days that you'll never have again. So you want to make sure if this time of year is important to you, you want to make sure that you can say that you did what it took to try and enjoy it. And a lot of times I find that like when I purposefully do things to have joy or to be happy, I end up receiving it in some way or another. This video was not made in any way to simplify the very real ache that happens around this time of year. I mean, I know how it is. Trust me, I'm going on, like I said, on year 13. But I have found ways to cope. And so I wanted to share them with you all. If you have other tips for how people can have a great holiday in spite of being a little pissed that they're single again this year, please leave them in the comment box below. That is all for now. Thanks for watching.